So we're down in the Wildwoods and we're thinking about seasonal rentals, whether it's going to be, you want to own a seasonal rental, you want to get yourself involved into a rental, you want to come down, you want to stay. I guess whether it's a week, month, maybe it's for half the season, the off-season type stuff. So we're going to talk about that a little bit here today.
What are the benefits of owning a seasonal rental property in the Wildwoods?
Well, I guess the benefit of owning a seasonal, it's sort of, what are you deeming to be seasonal? Are you, when you do a rental, is it all right, let's say October the 1st until April 30th, so that's off season. And then so you have an off season rental staying in your property, which is great because that's the fall, winter months. That's going to help carry any expenses you maybe have for that, whether it's insurances, taxes, those things don't go away. So having an off-season renter, a winter rental, they sometimes get called as well. That's always nice to have because again, you're keeping the flow of income as an owner, to your bottom line, and then you roll into the seasonal rental, which becomes maybe May 1st to September 30th or mid-September. Specifically in the Wildwoods, our rental season, our end of the year rental, September, that really gets extended through the whole month. I mean, there's 3 or 4 festivals, Fireman's Weekend, the Irish Weekend, Italian Festival, Classic Car Show. Like those are weekends those are Thursday to Sundays when it comes to rentals. So you really get an extension. Back in people call them like the shoulder months. When you get your shoulder weeks when you get rental. And those specific weekends, that puts you to the end of September. So first week of, the Italian Festival is the last week of September. Saturday, I think it's September 27th is the actual date. So you think now you're renting towards the end, all the way to the end of September. So it generates income during months that people aren't really necessarily thinking about the beach. And then you just roll right into your seasonal, which can be, as I was saying, May 1st to end of September, which is the summer. Whether you're doing weekly, monthly, that's your call as, if it's your property, how you wanted to go about doing that from an ownership side.
Yeah. What are the most popular areas in the Wildwoods for those seasonal rentals?
Oh boy. I think that anywhere, with much like the home market in itself, where we do have a little bit, a lack of inventory. The same goes for the rental market. There is, people are constantly searching for, a rental opportunity that they can get themselves into. Whether it's yearly. People really don't love all right, I can get myself into an off-season rental. I'm in there October 1st, we'll say, and I'm in there till the end of April. But then I got to move, and I got to go find myself a summer rental, so I can stay. Again, I'm there for 3 or 4 months, but it seems like every 4 or 5 months you're moving. You're going from one rental to the other because you can't get yourself in a permanent yearly rental. They're tough to come by. They really are. And whether it's the Wildwoods or any shore town, the yearly seasonal rentals, we do sometimes try to guide people. Like maybe you want to think a little bit of offshore if you're thinking more of the the long-term rental type of thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's really any specific place that does better than the other. I think if you get into like the weekly rental part of it, or even the monthly rental part of it when it comes to the summertime, that goes without saying. If you really love the beach, you'd want to be close to the beach, less walking. If you've got kids that maybe like activities and nightlife, the boardwalk and things, well, you want to be in a pretty good proximity to that so that you don't have to drive to the boardwalk every night.
Yeah.
You could bike or you could walk up to the boardwalk every night. So I think that's always, that definitely goes into people's, decision-making process when it comes to where they want to rent. Is the activities that they're going to maybe be doing during the day, the activities at night, that kind of stuff.
If I was an owner of a seasonal property, what are some tips for maximizing the rental income from a seasonal rental property out here?
Well, I guess you kind of go back to that. What's the season? Are you looking at an off-season renter, or if you're looking at a seasonal rental that's during the summer?
Let's go summer. Let's try it.
If you're looking at like a summer rental, and I think this just goes for any of the properties, any amenities that you have in your property. So if you're offering, we've talked a little bit before about like the wow factor when you walk into a place, and it's kind of like when you go on vacation and you go in and you walk into your hotel room, and it's like, you just walk in, you're like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. Like, so if you walk into the place you're renting for the week or the summer or anything, and there's quartz or granite countertops, all the updated appliances and cabinetry and recessed lighting, vaulted ceilings, the color schemes, the shore, and you just walk in, you're like, wow, man, this is awesome. That's their first impression. Like, and even just with that being their first impression, that alone is going to get you, based on your rate. That could get you that return client every single year. They love the place. If you have decks that either look out, you can see the ocean or the bay, or you just have really good sized decks that you can have patio furniture out there. If you're association, if you're in a condo. Allows you to have grills on your deck, or just yourself. If it's a single family home, offering a grill. You have an outside shower. People love the outside shower. Another, that's an amenity that you can have. We've talked about things like, do you supply umbrellas? Do you supply sand chairs, beach towels, beach tags? Do you have one of those beach buggies that you can load all your stuff into and pull it down to the beach? Like all those kind of things. Those are little amenities that you can add to your rental, and it becomes sort of one big, all right, for this rate, this is what you get. And then you're just really just packing your bag and coming down. You're not worried about bringing bikes, beach umbrellas, chairs, because it's all there.
Yeah.
So those would be a lot of the things. Is there parking? Do you have off-street parking? And if you don't, do you supply maybe like a city parking pass? And then they don't have to worry about, feeding the meters or just doing like an overnight parking and all that kind of stuff. I mean, how many, you're sitting there in the middle of the day and all of a sudden you're like, oh,
yeah,
got to run down and feed the meter type of thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, those are always great things to have for people.
Everything you said, it removes some sort of friction, right? It removes, like, I don't need to bring my own beach chairs. I don't need to worry about parking because that person has, the person who owns the rental has thought about that for me in advance, and so it shows that they
100%.
care.
Yeah. Well, think about it like, you go on vacation, show up to the Ritz-Carlton, you're at, the Four Seasons or something like that, you're at your destination. If you're on vacation and you're in a beach town, or you're in the Caribbean or some place, you're not bringing your beach chair with you. You're not bringing an umbrella with you. You go down and there's something that's already set up down there for you. I mean, and they even have beach towels for you. Like, those are things you're not bringing. And I think everyone would say that you probably pay pretty good money to go on vacation to a place like that. Well, they're probably paying pretty good money to stay at your place.
Yeah.
You should be able to offer that kind of stuff. So,
for sure.
Yep.
How does the demand for seasonal rentals in the Wildwoods compare to other shore towns?
I think it's just the demand is always there, for any of the shore towns, whether it's summer rental, off-season rental. The interesting thing with like off-season rentals is you get a lot of professionals, school teachers, landscapers, people people that work at the golf, all the golf resorts, the golf clubs in the area. They're the country clubs and stuff like that. they're looking for off-season places that they can stay, winter rentals that they can stay too. I remember when they were redoing the Parkway, when they were doing away with all with the traffic lights there, and I had a couple of clients of mine that they had winter rentals, and they were contract workers that were working on the Parkway. They were doing all that work there. So it's just, there's always a need for it. And as long as you're whether you're advertising or just even you're priced right, I guess that's always a good thing too. You're not outpricing yourself from the market and the rental market. You'll have your place full.
Perfect. Where would I go? I guess two questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Where would I go if I wanted to rent seasonally, and where would I go if I wanted to purchase a home to then use for seasonal renting?
Well, first, if you wanted to purchase a home, I mean, obviously you can just come to myself and the team, whether it's myself, Chris, Mary, anybody, Sandra, Natalie. I mean, we're here to help you. That becomes sort of that's your criteria. What are you looking for in a property that you want to purchase down at the shore? Well, I'm looking for a rental property. Okay, is this something you're going to be renting 100% of the time, or is this okay, I'll rent it when I'm not using it? Mm-hmm. Those are two totally different style properties. They're two different purchases. One's an investment, one's a second home. So obviously working with professional real estate agents like we have at the Ferzoco Group on our team that can guide you through that is very important. When it comes to your ability to, with renting, whether you're trying to do Airbnb, VRBO, or anything like that, you can certainly use those sites for that. The Wildwood rental sites, things like that you can go to and get your properties up there, properties or property for rental. Do you use a local real estate office, that can do the rental for you? They're going to charge you a rate for you, but they're going to check them in, check them out. They'll do that for you. And the only thing you have to do at that point is your job is to go to the mailbox and get your check. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. The drawback sometimes with the Airbnb or VRBO, if you don't have a property manager, something goes wrong, they're reaching out to you. That's my insight when it comes to the rental market. My perspective on it, whether it's, as I say, you're seasonal or off-season, it all depends on what you want to be. Off-season is winter months, or winter rental. Seasonal is your shore months during the summer. So if you have any other any questions regarding the rental market or anything of that nature, you can always reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're always here to answer any of the questions you may have with the real estate market here in the Wildwoods and at the shore.